Hi, okay. Hey there everyone, this is Smwcx playing Smwcx version 1.01. I have to start recording here rather than on the map because otherwise everything goes caboose. Not used to using these tools. Yeah, so I'm in an I'm on 1.03. No Lua here, and we are finally going to address the finale. I'm just gonna go ahead and get my lives back, because the way the signs presented it, we're approaching the last final challenge or something. Pretty spooky. Alright, so my buttons are weirdly pressed, whereas, okay, I guess I can do it that way. Alright, so it's just set up this way. That's fine. So yeah, last time, finally conquered the escalator zone. And then we've unlocked here. The Seal Evil is almost broken. Only one still on. All the stars were supposed to have this far. Beyond this door lies the final challenge. Are you ready, my sheepy friend? This very graphic and intense. It'll take over 2 minutes to load. And it'll trigger an error because basically what happens at Luna SVX uses VRAM, graphic VRAM. No one has over 2 gigabytes of VRAM memory. If you do, you'll be fine. But if you don't, Smwcx does things a little bit differently. There was a little bit of a weird lag there. The finale. Let's check it out. There's not a star counter above it. So now in theory, we're all waiting 2 minutes together. We get to talk about the leprechaun that lives in the attic, and the Shothgara that lives in the tub, and an army of dust bunnies rallying together underneath the stove. And together we will all march across the land and go to Monty Python Museum, and we'll steal all the rubber instruments that they're keeping away from the populace. And this way we will find joy, not before regret. Well, that was less than 2 minutes, or it was quick 2 minutes. Hello, oh man, it's Tyranitor from Chrono Cross. Trigger, sorry, Trigger. That's the last boss, and that's cinematic. What? I don't understand. It's about to be broken. The seal is a Tyrannosaurus. I made my spelling over the world with my army of living paintings. I see we were invading the body of sentient beings. Mario's all, not so fast! Whoa, whoa, all the stars! And a 1-up for some reason, and I can't tell what's the top black thing. Make sure there were only 80 stars worth of painting around. How did you manage to get 81? I'll give you feedback, Anonymous Toad. Work on your principles. You're not quite there yet. I mean, just do a lot of, observatory drawing. Like, look how short the arms of your figure, and the legs too. The legs, no, they match your anatomy, so whatever. But the arms are just a bit too short. You gotta continue to draw while looking at things before you can go full-on stylization. That's just what everyone has to go through. Anyways, to seal this evil away forever! Alright. That's pretty funny. You're just selling the Super Mario World ROM hack. What? Wow. Trust me, I'm more familiar with Super ROM hacks than you. It will hold. The accurate. That's so the heroes. Okay. The client finally did convenient timing. With peace maintained, mentions over. Heroes relax and thought back on their journeying. Well, that's a really silly little bit of oh. So that's why. Okay. So that's why you got gigantic Grasshole. That's pretty funny. You got really giant files. I think these are just like animated GIFs. Literally a haul. Yeah, I agree. On all these levels, I remember. This level everyone likes. Symmetry. I almost named that level correctly. John T. Piano Tune. That's the exact opposite of Johnny. For the Starkway. Oh yeah, I remember. This is like the game basically records exactly what you're doing. I totally remember upslide killing that sniffet. I do that all the time. Tower of Bias 3 was part of convenient cooked breakfast. And this is the place where a toad was a toad. He ate a fly with his sticky tongue. Then he went in hibernation for 3 months long. Three's Company, what? Post-Game World's Three's Company, what? And we're back to the other version of the critics, of this time with 3D graphic. Okay, you know what? I like that. I'm trying not to mention the slight drama, because I want to appreciate this for what it is. Anyway, that's pretty nice. I'm surprised there were as many level donators, honestly, because it doesn't really feel like it. Like, if you want me to give my design of this game, my impression of this game, this just did not really feel like a collab hack. Am I correct? Like, it felt, a lot of the levels just had very similar feeling, and it just felt like a long game that had 2 main authors, Blue Leaf and I Might Not Be There For Long, and you know, with just like an occasional like special guest level like you get sometimes here and there. That's basically how it felt like to me. It took the game kind of a long time to kind of really go out there and put out, you know, what I like to call collab levels, daring levels that do very, sometimes unusual, strange things that you would not necessarily do on your own. Thank you for giving me a chance to play to the very end. Let's put it that way. And it's just too bad, because I can tell that a lot of care was put into aspects of this game. The only issue, I think, is that for a collab, it just feels like not enough people were there to work on the collab. And that's not really... it's like there's not like... It's like they couldn't manage to gather enough people to go ahead and like do the game and set everything up with them. And so it kind of lost momentum until it basically becomes the work of a couple of people instead. Thing is, that's not, you know, the project leader's fault necessarily. Sometimes projects just lose traction, and that's kind of it. And you just gotta fight to, you know, get something done with what you got. And it's kind of tragic. I feel like the game was really trying to be something huge that a lot of people would enjoy and have fun and remember. But it just couldn't get enough traction. And again, like the early levels, they just kind of felt kind of samey. But then you get to the middle of the game, and the middle of the game is really good. But then before you know it, the game ends. It's like it feels so tragic, because it's like, I feel like, I'm just getting started. We're getting some really interesting things here. And then it just kind of poofs. And then I may not be there for long's levels are really hard and long, and made me suffer a little bit more than necessary. But that's accidental. Well, not really that's not the right word, but I mean, yeah, that's basically what happened. I enjoyed myself a lot. And I mean, yeah. It's just, I don't know if people are gonna remember this project in the long run. I find that unfortunate. But for the most part, I felt that this was a really, really good game. It just needed tweaking. And it just needed work in the earlier levels to really make them stand out a little more. But I mean, it's the first game. Like, every first collab is always the weakest, right? I wish that you guys managed to do a second one, and that when you do, you get a little bit more volunteers ready to do some stuff. Meanwhile, this is Raocow playing Smwcx, and join me next time when I play a Mario ROM hack.